Non-Scholastic environment. Before we begin, kindly take note of the following reminders. First, make sure you are registered to the webinar to have your e-certificate of participation. You may visit certificate.vibalgroup.com to generate your proof of attendance. Place your questions in the comment box allotted during the session and they will be addressed by our speaker later on. Share the video using hashtag LearnAs1PH as our official hashtag to our Vibal webinars. Experience learning, Kabibal. And now to proceed with our webinar this afternoon, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our distinguished speaker for today. Dr. Samuel Adrao Sumawang is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Chemistry at Centro Escolar University with honors and recipient of Leadership Award. He is also a graduate of Master of Education, major in Christian Education at Asian Theological Seminary with honors and recipient of Christian Education Award in 2014. He finished his academic requirements for a Master's of Education, major in Chemistry at De La Salle University. He is a graduate of Doctor of Ministry, major in Christian Education at the Open Seminary. He is also a candidate for graduation for his PhD, major in Educational Management at University of Perpetual Health System, Delta. He is the founder and lead pastor of Lightfield Church Marikina in San Juan, Manila, an independent evangelical church centered for youth aiming to meet the spiritual needs of today's generation. He is the national coordinator of PCEC, Christian Educators Network, and National Alliance of Administrators of Christian Schools. He is the regional leader of the Philippines Global Trainers Academy and national secretary for National Alliance of Administrators of Christian Schools. He was a former student service head at Dumuscula International School, IB Word School, and principal of Remnant International School, and a teacher at Ubi Montessori College, Green Hills, San Beda College, and Don Bosco Technical College. Currently, he works as a freelance academic consultant to a number of private schools in NCR, Calabarzon, and Bulacan. He has been a motivational, inspirational speaker and a resource speaker for different areas related to Christian parenting, school and church leadership, pastoral care, values education, Christian education, science education, teacher education, and spiritual intelligence in different institutions. But most importantly, he is married to Lynn Sumawang and they are blessed with two equally beautiful daughters, Abigail Nathalie and Amara Nicole. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Samuel Adrao Sumawang.
Hi. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Michelle and Sandy. Um, well, I'm really happy to be here sharing with you with this very interesting topic for today. Okay. Actually, since we have different audience for this afternoon, we have teachers, we have parents, we have guardians, okay, and administrators of our different schools. I'd like to uh, make sure that this webinar would really be very useful for all of you. Yeah, so yung mga teachers and advisors especially kung maghahanap ng mga parents ng ideas para magkaroon sila ng idea on how they would be converting their own homes into a learning environment, no, conducive for learning this pandemic, lalo na we're going to use a remote learning modality. So this will be your ideas. For the parents naman, I hope that all the things that you're gonna learn will be applied on your own homes, no? So yeah, so I'm Dr. Sam, and I'm very glad to open this webinar to all of you. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, so let me begin with our topic for this afternoon. So it's entitled Creating Learning Routines in a Non-Scholastic Environment. Okay. Uh, I'd like to ask everyone, Okay. So how are you coping in this new normal? If you will notice, sinadya ko talaga na nasa baba no nung rainbow yung new normal because I can see a silver lining no kahit na ano nangyayari sa atin, we can easily adapt mga Filipino tayong lahat. Okay? Um Before the pandemic starts, all we know is that there is only one, no, the modality na kung saan ang mga anak natin ay mag-aaral, no, at gamit natin ang face-to-face learning. But because of the pandemic, we were forced to do another modality, no. That's why we are welcomed, no, with the new one, which is called the remote learning. Ayan, kumakaway-kaway pa. Okay. So, actually, with this topic, pwede naman kayo maghanap na lang sa Google. I-Google ninyo kung anong itsura ng room na pwedeng magamit para sa inyong mga anak para magkaroon ng conducive environment for learning. You can have actually like this kind of schedules, no? Oh, balikan ko lang 'yon. So pwede kayong kumuha ng mga gantong klase ng schedule. Yan. So naka-ready na, tama? Tapos pwede rin naman kayong humanap ng mga features na pwede niyong ilagay like this. It's really nice, right? Oh, ito may pabanderitas pa to. Okay? So look at that. So you can freely do that. But the question is, ito bang mga dinedesign natin ng mga para sa mga kwarto ng mga anak natin o kaya anywhere in the house na magiging classroom no pansamantala for this school year ng inyong mga anak, dapat ba meron ba tayong dapat na iniisip na mga dapat na i-decorate o kahit ano lang ilagay natin diyan? Yon. So actually our seminar for today would have to be focusing on the backbone, no? Bakit nga ba kailangan ng unang-una ng routine sa bahay, ng learning routine sa bahay natin? Uh, Kailangan ba meron ba tayong nasa isip na dapat ilagay natin diyan? Meron ba yung mga theories na kailangan na sundin ba natin or hit or miss lang ba 'yan? So pagandahan lang ba 'to? Is aesthetic value would be the main thing here? Yon. So actually, kahit kami po ng mga teachers, nagde-design kami ng classroom. We don't just design classrooms for the sake of having a very beautiful classroom. No. Actually, at the back of our minds, meron kaming mga kini-create na mga bagay so that pag nakita pa lang ng bata yung katulad nito, meron pa siya dito na may mga quotes pa tayo nakikita, today a reader, tomorrow a leader. Yun, so what does it mean? Ano ba yung natututunan ba to ng bata? Yun. So lahat ng mga bagay na to are really important for you to create your own personalized learning routines at home. Okay, so our first stop would be on defining what routine is, and followed by, we're going to answer the question, why do we need to establish routines at home? And then we'll move forward to the reasons why learning routine is important for your child. Okay? And then after that, we're going to discuss about what to keep in mind when establishing learning routines at home. Then followed by an example that I would give you, because as I have mentioned, or as Michelle have mentioned, I'm actually a consultant, a freelance consultant to different schools. Right now, we have started schooling in School of Everlasting Pearl Incorporated as their online distance learning coordinator. We have started in June 22 for our enrichment program. We tried our learning continuity plan executed so that we would know kung effective ba at kung paano kami mas makakapag-serve ng gusto sa mga estudyante namin. So ganun din yung ginagawa ko doon sa mga ibang schools where I am a consultant. Yeah. Okay. So shall we begin? So this is the journey that we're going to go through, and I hope that all of you will have to learn so much from this. Let's begin with the definition of terms. When we talk about routine, parents and the teachers, these are the sequence of actions. Ang pinaka-importanting words dito, regularly and fixed. So ibig sabihin, hindi siya pwedeng mabago. But okay, so don't get me wrong on this. We have to be still spontaneous. It's just that for a regular day, ito yung mga dapat nating sinusunod. Okay? Para matawag mo talaga routine siya. Kasi may effect siya sa brain natin. Okay? Next, it has to be performed on a regular procedure. Yon, for special reason. What is it? learning. For this afternoon, it's learning. Okay. So next one. Why do we need to establish routines at home? Ano may importansya ba 'yon? I have two. Number one, well, are you familiar with the Seven Habits of Effective People, Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey? So, sabi dito, when we establish routines, we begin with the end in mind. So, kaya tayo nagkakaroon ng ganitong klase ng pag-i-implement sa tahanan natin. For one reason yan eh. Gusto natin kasi masigurado that our child will really reach their destiny, no? Which is whatever goal he has or she has for her life or for his life. Now, pero hangga't nandito tayo, tuwang-tuwa ako dito sa kasabihan na to, ano, na watch your thoughts because they would be your words, and watch your words because they would be your actions. And then followed by these actions that would be frequently done would be your habits. And after being habits, they become your character. They define who you are. And after that, because of that character formed in you, that would be your destiny. Okay, so bakit the end in mind? Kasi kaya tayo gumagawa ng ganito mga parents and teachers because all we want is that there would be a bright future for our student, for our children. Kaya lang, itong mga nandito mula sa thoughts hanggang actions, hanggat hindi pa siya deliberately ginagawa mo, nandun pa lang siya sa conscious effort. Ibig sabihin ng conscious effort, nalilimutan din ng brain yan. Kaya kailangan may tagapaalala. Okay? So now, kailangan ma-convert siya into habits. Okay? That's why we have to have routines. So the more repeatedly your child does an action, the more it gets physically wired in his or her brain. Hence, okay, every time your child acts in the same way, okay, uh, a specific neuronal pattern is stimulated and becomes strengthened in his or her brain. No, so nagwa-wire up siya doon. Kaya mas nagiging natural siya. So hindi na siya magiging effort. Lalagyan ng effort para gawin ng bata yun. Pagka mga a month or so, magiging naturally, ginagawa niya na yun. And it becomes a part of her life or his life, and then later on, magiging character niya na yon, ang pagiging masipag, ang pagbabasa, yan, things like that. Okay. Now, I would also like to emphasize this verse in the Bible, which says, "Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it." So everything that you input in your routines will have to be sticking in the mind and wiring up there. No, the synapses will have to be happening more and more hanggang sa mas lalo silang maging intact. Yan, at matututunan niya ng mga anak natin. So that's why it's really important. Ang pangalawa is this. All families need some type of routine established to establish normalcy in getting things done in the new landscape of education. And we are all experimenting on this. Okay? So, na-stress si parents, kailangan hindi maramdaman ng bata na stressed din si parent, right? So, children usually fear the unknown. Yeah, that's a reality. Okay, so whether it's a strange food on their plate or a big life change like moving to a different house, gaining a new sibling, or attending class through remote learning, this will definitely have stress in your children, right? So, para mais ang mga bagay na to, we need routines. Okay? This is to ease and to comfort your child. Now, biologically speaking, routine would help minimize uncertainties because the brain doesn't want it. Okay, they don't like uncertainty because uncertainty engages in the fight, flight, freeze, appease part of your brains in the amygdala, no, which can stifle clear thinking. So mahihinder yung pag-learn ng bata kasi parang nakakaramdam siya lagi ng strange. Kailangan maging okay siya dun sa remote learning, which is about to be experienced, and for some are being experienced right now. So hindi pa naman huli ang lahat because we have just begun with the school year. So kaya-kaya pa nating iayos yan. So to give you more insight about this, so let's proceed to the 5 reasons why learning routine is important for your child. So aside from gusto mo na magkaroon siya ng future, yan. So mag-motivate na akong gumawa ng bagay na to. Pangalawa, makaka-ease pala siya ng stress ng anak mo. Kaya it would be a smooth sailing school year for your child. ang isa sa mga rason kung bakit makakabuti to sa mga anak ninyo is number one, it helps your child get on a schedule. And it will secure the child of his or her expectations as well as your expectation for the child. Yan. So, alam niya na happy si parent, happy si teacher. Yan. Okay. It gives your child confidence and independence. Importante po yan. So that when he or she grows up, dadalin niya yon. Okay? At mas marami siya ma-achieve kung lagi siyang confident and independently doing tasks by himself or by herself. Number three, it establishes healthy and constructive habits as I have mentioned a while ago. Kaya kailangan lang repeatedly gagawin siya on a regular basis. Provides opportunity for special daily rituals like me and my daughter Abigail Natalie. So every night, tuwan-tuwa siya no, na kapag bago kami matulog, magkakaroon kami ng stories. This hand is for the choices for the princesses. And this one is for the Bible stories. So kaya kailangan may isa dito sa princesses at merong isa rin para sa mga Bible stories. Okay? And that will have a big effect no on her mind. Maaalala niya yon. Okay? It becomes a special ritual. A ritual is something that you unconsciously done anymore. Yan. So offer stability during times of change or stress, just like what's gonna happen or what's currently happening to her or to him. No? Kasi nga, remote learning, hindi ko man lang mahahag si teacher. Yan, things like that. Or hindi ko makikita yung classmates ko. Hindi ko sila makakalaro sa playground. Things like that. So kailangan sanayin natin yung mga bata sa bagong normal. Okay? Now, on the next step, what to keep in mind kapag halimbawa nagpaplano na, so excited ka na magplano para sa mga gagawin mo sa room ng anak mo or babaguhin mo. So what do you have to keep in mind? Number one, you have to know ano na ba talagang henerasyon nitong mga anak ko? Ano ba talaga yung common sa kanila nang magkaintindihan kami? Remember that there's always generational gaps no between parents and the children. So I'd like you to know that it could be that your child is in the alpha already, alpha generation, as coined by Mark Crindle in 2010, kasabayan ng pag-launch ng iPad, ano? Then next, or nasa Gen Z. Yung mga higher grades nasa Gen Z. Yung mga nasa lower grades hanggang grade 3 to kinder, yun yung mga nandun sa alpha. So, pero ang mga alpha, pinag-iisipan pa sila, pinag-aaralan pa sila, what would really be their characteristics. Kaya sabi dito, Generation Alpha will be the most formally educated generation ever, the most technology supplied generation ever, and globally the wealthiest generation ever. Okay? So, but with the businessmen, of course, ito yung mga unang-una nag-aaral, how can they be able to catch this generation? I gained this next insights from seminar of Francis Kong, no? Sa SEDNet, sa Christian Educators Network. Okay. So, the Gen Zs daw, as they have studied it, ito yung usual na dapat nating tingnan. Dahil tayo ngayon ay collaboratively working with the teachers, and the teachers are collaboratively working with the parents. So, ito yung mga observable. Lalo na, kaharap na nila yung internet ngayon. Okay? So, parents, let's bear in mind that our children have actually the tendency to become aggressive rather than assertive. Pag sinabi nating aggressive, ito yung tipo na kapag nagtanong sila, parang walang halos respect ba? Okay? Pero yung assertive kasi, yung tipo na nagsasalita lang sila o nag-i-inquire lang sila because they just really want to know something. Yon. So, kailangan maging patient tayo sa kanila and kailangan let's just welcome when they ask us questions. So, maghanda na tayo kasi madami pa yan. And this is connected to the next one. Oh, ang dami-dami nilang gustong sabihin at patunayan, pero napaka-impatient naman. Di ba? Napansin nyo ba yon? So, kailangan mag-ready tayo ng something that would inspire them on the wall of your house na baka kapag-remind sa kanila, they have to be patient. No? Then also, what would help in your learning is that alam nyo, kailangan, mas ano tayo, mas caring tayo sa kanila. Because this is called the strawberry generation. Yun ba ang strawberry, kahit na galing sa Baguio, tapos bumili ka, ang ganda-ganda. Pagdating mo sa Maynila, wala na. Kumbaga parang nasira na din yung mga surface niya. So that's actually what's happening in the generation right now, no? Paano pa kaya yung generation alpha? So they have a high level of anxiety. That's why we pastors also would really have to learn more about counseling, no? So para at least kahit pa paano makakatulong kami sa mga homes. Lalo na ngayon, walang masyadong socialization, no? Physical socialization. Okay. So bear in mind that your touch would really be helpful for your children. Okay. Um, you also have to schedule, kahit na Zoom lang yan, kahit na kung ano man platform ang pwede niyong gamitin para they can meet with their friends and also relatives, no? Kahit sa abroad o kaya dito, because they really love diversity. Okay? Diversity of things that they're doing, diversity of characters and everything. So gusto nila pabago-bago. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, pwede ka namang maglagay sa wall mo o kaya ng decorations na, o katulad, halimbawa, itong background ko, no? So, teacher, pwede kang pabago-bago ng background na related yon dun sa topic mo para they would also be excited. Ano na kayang background bukas ni teacher? Yeah. Di ba? Because they really love that. Tapos, napansin nyo ba? Ang mga anak natin, napakadaming pinaglalaban sa buhay, ano? Parang they are natural social activists. But of course, we can make it uh, become positive, no? Like for instance, itong mga batang to, start the fight against plastic today. So, alam nyo, in the midst of the pandemic, hindi natin maiaalis na itong mga plastics ay problema pa rin natin hanggang ngayon. Natatabunan lang siya ng konti. We can allow them during their creativity time na gumawa ng sarili nilang poster slogan. Yan. Things like that, parents. You can do that, no, as part of their learning routines. Okay? And then, napapansin nyo ba na minsan, parang ang hirap-hirap maimpluwensyahan sila ng mga kuya nila. At minsan din, hirap din ng mga teachers ng mga millennials, no? Because they actually look down on the millennials. Paano naman kasi yung kuya nila, minsan yan yung tito nila, yan yung mga ka-ML nila. Things like that. So parang nababawasan tuloy yung credibility nila. So tip lang din yan sa mga teachers, hindi masyadong hindi ako masyadong okay na kalaro mo yung bata sa ML, ganyan, na parang ay kasi okay kami, no? O kaya sa Facebook masyado kayo, kaya sa Twitter masyado kayong close na close. There would always be a boundary. Okay? So dapat ikaw, you are an adult friend as a teacher. Huwag mong tatanggalin yung adult. Hindi pwedeng friend lang. Marami na sila nun. So kaya kailangan may influencer na positive. Whether you are a millennial or Gen X like me. Okay? Next one. Did you know, parents, that based on the research, they actually love to read. Ang gusto nila hardbound kasi masyado na silang sa mga amoy ng radiation, no, sa mga gadgets nila. So, what do you need to do now? Kailangan i-provide mo sila, pa-introduce mo lang. Ito anak yung dati naming mga encyclopedia. Malay mo, they would be able to browse a little, no? Medyo nahihirapan, di katulad sa Google, isang ano mo lang andun na. Tayo, ang hirap pa, letter E, tapos EREB, mga ganun. So may mga ganun pa tayong paghihirap before. Malay mo, matuwa rin sila kasi they like the smell, no? It's kind of strange for them. Next one. Karugtong nun, napansin nyo ba na napaka-inquisitive ng mga anak natin? But that's actually the beauty of this generation. Maraming tanong. Lalo na kapag yung mga fundamental questions of life, maganda yan. They love philosophy. Yan. They love thinking. And therefore, wag natin teachers, wag natin silang punuin ng mga tanong na what and when. Okay? Punuin natin sila ng mga hots na questions. Parents, pag sinabi nating hots, these are higher order thinking skills na mga questions. Ibig sabihin, pinag-a-analyze natin sila, pinag-create natin sila, pinag-evaluate natin sila, things like that. Because they love to think rather than memorize. Napakahirap magpa-memorize sa henerasyong to. Tama ba ako? Okay. But there's also a downside of this generation. Kapag hindi natin sila talagang patuloy na ginabayan, maaaring lumaki silang atheists. Because nga hindi natin na-explain ng maayos na merong palang kahalagahan ang pagsisimba. Ngayon kaya tanungin nga natin ang mga estudyante at mga anak natin, kumusta kaya sila na hindi na nagsisimba? Apektado ba sila? So yung mga ganyan ba? Kasi isa yan sa mga gusto sa atin ng DepEd, na lumaki sila na may takot sa Diyos, maka-Diyos, 'di ba? Makatao, makabayan, 'di ba? Makabansa. So kailangan 'wag nating kakalimutan na laging merong bagay na nandiyan, ng mga verses na nakalagay dun sa hagdanan natin. Halimbawa, papababa na sila, tapos habang kumakain sila, kami dito meron kaming 10 commandments habang kumakain. Then si mommy, lagi sinasabi ng wife ko, "Thou shall not." 'Yon. So kumbaga, at least doon na-embed sa kanila, ay meron palang Panginoon, 'no? Dahil yun naman ang nais natin. Tapos when they end their prayer, it has to always be in Jesus' name. Yon. So those are the things that we can always adapt, no? By the way, in School of Everlasting Pearl Incorporated, for instance, we always start and end our class in a prayer. Yon. Para at least alam nila na we have started it, and they have learned something, or they will learn something at the start, for them to grow as a Christian. Yon. And then mag-end kami for them to use whatever knowledge they have and convert it to wisdom for the betterment of the human beings, yung mga relationships nila with their siblings, because Christianity is actually a religion of love. Yan. So, yun yung mga bagay na pwede natin na i-embed sa mga bata. So, mga mami, sa learning routines natin, huwag natin kakalimutan ng prayer. Okay? Okay, now next stop natin would be under this topic pa rin, no, what should we have in our mind? Uh, Parents, let's not be so much concerned about grades. Lalo na this time in pandemic, lalo na tayong magkakaroon ng ng stress sa mga bata. So what you need to do is to focus on what really matters. Okay? Ano ba yung talaga nagma-matter sa mga panahon ngayon? Ito po yun. I call it PIES, no? So in establishing learning routines at home, so you have to consider honing your child's PIES. So mamaya malalaman nyo kung ano yan. Kailangan equally yan para balanse. And then yung mga skill set, kailangan din po makikita yan at mararanasan ng mga bata. At ang panghuli, anong mindset ang dapat na itinatanim natin sa mga bata? Yung bang, oh anak, pagka nakatapos ka na ng trabaho ng pag-aaral mo, boss ka na ha, ganun ba dapat yon? Ano ba ibig sabihin ng pagiging boss? O kaya, ano bang next part ba niya? Gusto niyo ba magtrabaho siya or become an entrepreneur? Yon. So, umpisahan natin do sa PIES. When I speak about PIES, what I mean would be, yan. Kailangan i-hone natin yung unang-una. Kasi pag hindi nakisama ang physical component ng bata, yung mga susunod po dito, mahihirapan na tayo. Physical wellness, I is for intellectual wellness. On a daily basis to ha. We have emotional wellness. And we also have to secure, of course, the spiritual wellness of the child. That's why it's called PIES. Ngayon, hindi siya singular, no? So, tingnan nyo tong illustration na to. Yan. So, parang patong-patong siya kasi marami siya, no? Sa bawat area of their life. Marami sa P, marami sa I, marami sa E, marami sa S. When I talk about emotional wellness, I also would encompass the social na wellness, emotional, social. Okay, let's start with this. So, kailangan po sa part ng learning routine, akala mo hindi part ng pagkain. No, good nutrition. Kailangan po colorful ang pagkain because the color of the fruit or the plant that they're eating actually would say something about the nutrition, no? Of or the good things that they would have to be acquiring when they eat that, no? Kung red yan, kung green yan, yon. So, dapat ang good nutrition ang unang-una nating pinaprioritize sa bata. Kakain siya na mula breakfast. Alam nyo ba na according to neuroscience, kapag pareho ng pareho ang oras ng pagkain natin, lalo na ng mga bata, it signals on the brain also na kumbaga automatic nag-aano na siya. Kumbaga uh, nagko-convert siya into something beneficial for us to have a better day sa araw na yon. So, mas maganda kung palagi at araw at o yung oras na yon siya kumakain at the same time. Lalo na kapag kasama tayong lahat na magkakasabay tayong kumakain. Okay? Now, a regular exercise. Do you know that when you exercise, kapag ka tayo ay stressed, yung cortisol level natin, which is being released by our endocrine system, yung hormone na to, bababa ang level niyan. Okay? Kapag ka nag-exercise tayo. So, ganun din sa mga bata. Kung pagising niya na naginip siya ng hindi maganda, o kaya pagising siya, meron siyang tantrums for instance, so bababa yung level na yon if we ask them to exercise, give a little stretch, no? Stretching tayo ng konti. Yan. At ang pinaka-importante sa lahat is an adequate sleep. Kasi kapag hindi natutulog, hindi nakakapag regenerate yung ating mga cells. Kailangan nating ma-rest yung cells natin at lahat ng mga na-damage, mapalitan siya. Okay? At maging magana uli siya kinabukasan. So it has to rest. Okay, so nutrition, regular exercise, and adequate sleep. So these healthy habits promote optimal learning. So I would repeat that, optimal learning. That is actually what we are supposed to gain this school year. Okay? Now, let's talk about the brain. So, paano ngayon yung learning routines natin makakatulong sa pag-develop ng brain? So, ito mismo, ihimay-himayin natin yan, no? Yung different areas of the brain. Okay, like for instance, if you want to develop the language, no? Ngayon, si 0 to 6, so birth to 6 years old. So, ibig sabihin, hanggang grade 1 yan. So, parents, paano nyo, kami kasi noon, we sing in the class, we have storytelling, things like that. Now, kayo gagawin nyo rin 'yon sa bahay. So, halimbawa yung mga songs like Beautiful, Beautiful, Jesus is beautiful, Jesus makes beautiful things of my life, carefully touching me, causing my eyes to see. Jesus makes beautiful things of my life. Dati, kami lang ang kumakanta niyan. Ngayon, pag-aaralan nyo na din yan. And that would be part of your routine so that their language will have to be developed. And that parietal part of the brain, parietal lobe, would have to be developed. Yan. Tapos, yung touch din importante. Kaso ang problema, hindi na namin kayang mayakap yung mga bata kapag sila umiiyak. So who's gonna do that? So parents, akalain nyo po, part po yan ng learning routine that they have to feel, lalo na kung manggagaling sa inyo. Kasi kami naman second parents lang kami, pero kayo pa rin po yung tunay na mga magulang. Okay? So maraming mga bagay ang pwede niyo maituro sa mga anak ninyo. Okay? Now next, let's move to the frontal lobe. No? If you want to develop the concrete thinking, yung mga asynchronous learning modalities perhaps na i-implement sa school ninyo. So you have to assist your child on that, no? Have them sort, categorize objects para meron siyang mga enrichment activities at home. Yan. You also encourage them problem solving. Then alam nyo, it's all right to feel a little frustrated sometimes. Basta nandyan kayo para on top of the show, tap nyo lang yung shoulder ng bata, tapos nandyan kayo sa pagsosolve ng problema. Okay. And then yung prefrontal cortex naman, well, hanggang senior high school to, parents and teachers. So ibig sabihin, just give them, questions about hats, no? Para mas ma-develop sa kanila yung mga bagay na yan. So, pwede kayong maglagay ng mga images diyan sa background nyo, no, ng kung saan nandoon yung mga bata para mas makita nila abstract ganyan. Pwede niyo bago-baguhin. Okay. Next one. Emotion influences the ability to learn. Kaya kailangan parents, hindi sila stressed at hindi sila anxious. Otherwise, it blocks the access to HOTS, no, or higher processing and stops forming new connections in the brain, yung neurons natin. Hindi na siya matututo. What they love is novelty. Wow, may bago, mami Things like that. Well, may bago, teacher. So, I want you to know that emotions affect how and what children would learn. Okay? So next on the pies would be, okay, before you create your learning routines at home, alam nyo nung tinanong ko yung mga senior high school students, senior high school to ano ba yung mga kailangan nyo talaga sa bahay na kailangan maramdaman ninyo? So, kaya nga sabi ko kanina, madali naman po na mag-adapt ng kung anong magandang design o kaya schedule. Kaya lang parents, just like us teachers, no? Ah, hindi naman tayo pakikinggan ng todo ng bata unless they know that we really care. And paano natin yun mapaparamdam sa kanila? Kailangan ramdam na nila na merong pagmamahalan sa bahay. Unahin natin to. Pag-iintindihan, naiintindihan natin yung growth changes na pinagdadaanan ng bata. We guide them carefully. We support them. No? We support them. Lalo na ngayong nag-aaral sila. Alam nyo yung pagbili nyo lang po ng laptop sa mga anak ninyo o kaya tablet, na naging busy kayo para pag-isipan kung anong ibibigay nyo sa mga anak ninyo, yung mga teachers na nagpapakapuyat para dyan sa mga modules, at saka sa mga PowerPoint presentation, asynchronous at saka pagre-ready sa synchronous learning modalities, teachers. Magandang ano yan, masarap yan pakinggan sa tenga ng bata at pumapasok hanggang puso, no, ng bata. And I'd like to reiterate that kahit ilang taon na sila, students and children, they need to be valued in your homes. And then, kapag secured na sila sa mga bagay na to, then you can plan for your learning routines. Okay, next one, on the letter S, no? Ito na, S na tayo. Yung isa, iyon, so pies, binubuo na natin. Enhance their spiritual intelligence. According to Dr. Dana Zohar and Ian Marshall, the intelligence with which we access our deepest meanings, purposes, and highest motivations, that is actually SQ. Ito talaga, actually, I'm actually an advocate of SQ. It's still in the infancy stage in the Philippines, and I hope na pagtuunan natin to ng pansin, because when we can access our deepest motivations in our lives, yung meaning at saka purpose natin, when we are moving in that area of awareness, mas nagiging productive tayo. So, umpisahan natin sa mga bata. Paano natin sila tutulungan, no? Sabi doon sa devotion ko this morning, katulad niyan, I also have a ritual in the morning. Instrumental music, worship, and then I have to read something. Mapakaikli lang, no? So, sabi dito, it is always healthy for me to remember that God's view of my spirituality, okay, lilinawin ko lang, spirituality and religiosity, they're not the same. His judgment of whether I am a spiritual-minded person or not is based not upon how I treat my friends and those I like, but how I treat the waiter at the table that whom I do not know, or the clerk in the store, or the yard man. This is the mark of my spirituality. Yun. So, yung pagiging mabuting tao na organically lumalabas dun sa bata. So, how can you help that? Paano natin may papasok sa learning routines yan? Number one, you can set up a quiet and clean and consistent learning space for them. Just like what this parent has done here as an example. Okay? In one of my lectures, I also said this. Parents, mas matutuwa sila no, yung mga bata kapag kinakapitalize natin yung mga kung saan sila magagaling. Ang mga bata katulad nga nung isang parent na very successful, sana nakikinig sa si Mrs. Sante, no? Yung isa sa mga parents na hanggang ngayon kausap ko pa din, ganyan, kukumustahan kami. Ang anak niya ay naging handle ko when he was in grade 3, si Gab Sante. When he was in grade 3 sa San Beda College. Now, until now, nagko-communicate kami. Then, ito yung sinasabi niya na magkakaiba ang mga anak natin. Kaya dapat capitalize on their innate abilities. So, try to ask yourself, what are my child's gifts? No? What are they good at? So si teacher, ganyan din. Yung mga estudyante ko kaya ngayon, lalo na yung hindi ko man lang nakilala pa. So what are their gifts? How can I discover them in a remote learning modality? Things like that. So teachers, hamon yan sa inyo para mas lalo silang ganahan sa pag-aaral. Okay. Now, another thing that you have to put in mind is that don't be concerned much on the grades. Tingnan natin yung skill set. Teachers, dito lagi natin kaya gumagamit tayo ngayon ng MELC, no, yung most essential learning competencies. Kailangan niya kasi those are the hard skills. So parents, kapag tinulungan niyo sila sa quiz ng mga bata, sa pagpili ng magandang school, yan, para sa kanila, that is actually honing their hard skills and you're good at that. Very good yan, parents. Pero as equally important as that is also the soft skills, parents. Kailangan nahuhone din to. So tara pag-aralan natin ano ba yung mga yan. So kailangan may balance dyan sa dalawang yan. Because both are needed for your child to succeed in their life. So hard skills, ito yung mga pang-resume. Okay? Kaya dapat ito yung mga alam, after years from now, they have their educational attainment hanggang postgraduate, their honors received, analytical ability acquired through the years, and their experiences as well as their trainings. Yan. So those are the hard skills. These are needed for them to have a job, to become an entrepreneur someday. So kailangan nila yan. Pero meron din sila isa pang kailangan kasi pag hindi natin na-guide ang mga bata towards people skills na dito alam ko napagaling ng parents dito. So kailangan parents, meron din silang certificate dito. Pero to, ikaw mismo ang makakapag bigay ng assessment dito. Like halimbawa, leadership skills. Kailangan natututo sila sa bahay. So gawin natin part 'yan no ng ating learning routine. Humility. Alam nyo kapag ang isang tao nawala na yung pagiging mababang loob, ay nako, mahirap na po 'yan magtuloy-tuloy sa pagiging successful sa buhay. Also, resilience. Nako, napakadaming hindi resilient ngayon, konting dagok lang ng buhay, parang gi-give up na. So kailangan natin silang isali itong mga values na to. They have to be value-led people. Integrity, kahit walang nakatingin, gagawa na mabuti. Ability to work with a team, hindi yung siya lang lagi. Okay? Kailangan magaling siya dyan. Innovative mind. Hindi yung susunod lang sa flow. Okay? Creativity. So, meron siya sariling diskarte. Enthusiastic or passionate attitude. Yung tipo na kapag, Mami, katulad ng pamangkin ko dito, no, si Angie, kapag kaya na umagang-umaga, magugulat na hindi mo kailangan gisingin. Grade 6 na siya, ha? Hindi mo kailangan gisingin. Talaga maliligo. And then very enthusiastic and passionate to have her online class. Kaya sabi ko nga sa anak ko, gayahin mo si ate. And nangyayari naman, no? So, kailangan natin silang ipipraise because of that attitude. So, hindi puro lang nakakuha ng 10 over 10, perfect sa ganitong oral exams. No, parents, kailangan, and teachers, kailangan purihin din natin sila sa magagandang attitudes nila. And of course, their entrepreneurial skills. Kailangan marunong sila na, diba, katulad nga, usong-uso yung online selling. Kung if you are a parent, gawin mo siyang model, o kaya turuan mo din siya. I'm sure that she'll be happy to help you. Okay? Because, I would like to say and emphasize that when you combine these two, you will have a well-rounded child, a well-rounded student. Ayaw mo ba ng ganon? So ako, tawag dito, successful ako pag nararamdaman ko na ganyan ang mga estudyante ko. I think one of our teachers in Remnant International Christian School is listening, Teacher Jem San Jose. So one of our teachers, I mean students, na ngayon teacher na rin, si JD Villela, no? So na si Daryl. So ngayon nakikita na namin yung effect na magkakaroon ka ng well-rounded student. Yan. So kailangan lang natin tong isagawa, no? Mag-uumpisa sa routine hanggang sa magiging innate na sa kanya yan. Next one. Ano ba yung mindset na kailangan natin parents na i-instill sa mga bata? Alam nyo kasi minsan para ito katulad nito. Alam mo in Harvard study, no, they have found out this is still ongoing study. They have found out meron dalawa palang bagay parents and teachers na dapat i-instill natin sa mind ng ating mga minamahal na estudyante at minamahal na mga anak. Number 1, nabanggit ko na kanina. Kaya i-emphasize ko lang ng todo, there must be love. Yan, love daw ang una. So hindi yung mga karangyaan, no? Yung mga millennial parents saka Gen X parents na gaya ko, parang gusto nating ibigay lahat ng karangyaan sa mga anak natin. But actually, of course, they will benefit from those things. But they would not secure us na mapaglaki nila, magiging successful sila, teachers and parents. Kailangan unang-unang pagmamahal. At ito na agulat, yung ibang parents, ini-spare nila yung mga anak nila dito, but you're wrong. Kailangan turuan natin sila maging responsable sa pamamagitan ng pagtuturo sa kanilang life skills sa bahay, mga gawaing bahay. Pag tinuruan natin ng dalawang bagay na to ang bata, definitely they will become successful in life. Yan. So a child who grew in love will never run out of the following: inspiration, motivation, hope, okay, faith, and joy. So, are you still going to worry kung madidepress ang anak mo? If you have filled the vessel in your child's heart with love, hindi ka mag-worry na yung anak mo ay magkakaroon ng depression, magkakaroon siya ng hindi siya magiging resilient sa buhay because he or she is founded with love. Ganon din tayo sa klase natin, teachers. So kailangan maramdaman kahit remote, maramdaman ng bata na mahal natin sila. We are continuing in our education of these children because we love them above all. Okay. Now, another one is kailangan turuan ang mga anak ng mga gawaing bahay. So, ito yung mindset na kailangan meron ang bata. Okay? Pagmamahal na galing sa magulang at ibibigay niya because he cannot give what he doesn't have. Meron siya nun sa puso niya. May bibigyan niya yan sa mundo. Ito pang isa. Okay? Pag merong kalat, pag meron diyang may gusot, sinong dapat na gumalaw niyan o sinong dapat na makialam diyan? Hindi naman yan kasali sa KPI ko eh. Yung mga ganyan ng mga sagutan yung mga key performance index. Kahit na hindi yan kasali sa KPI mo, ikaw ang nakasaksi. You have to be responsible in doing things so that it would be solved, no? Yun. So kaya kailangan yung mga bagay na to, tinuturo natin sa mga anak natin, the earlier, the better. Okay? In this way, they will learn work ethics. Hindi natututunan ng work ethics sa panahon na magtatrabaho na sila. Kundi natututunan yan sa panahon na lumalaki sila sa inyong mga tahanan. At lalo na ngayon na oras ng pandemya. Okay? So we're actually towards the end already of my talk. This time, I'll give you an example of the learning routine. At home, pag pinagsama-sama ko lahat yon, sabi ko nga, hindi pwede na may model lang dyan, makita mo, din gagayahin mo. When you talk about learning routine at home, parents and teachers, when you and administrators, when you have your orientation, there's no such thing as one size fits all. Walang isang schedule na lahat ay pwede nang gayahin yon. Kailangan, if we want it effective, we want it to work in our homes, then we have to think about it critically. We have to decide on it, collaboratively with our teacher, with our parents, yung mga teachers naman nagagawa ng ganyang collaboration with the administrators, and also, of course, kung isa niya lang anak yan, si husband at si wife, collaboratively mag-uusap kayo dyan. Okay? So this is an example, like what we're doing in the schools that I'm handling. Okay, so look at that. I have here, like for instance, I would like them to wake up at 6:30. Oh, okay, wake up time, 6:30, for them to do the morning routines already. So sa morning routines, nandun na yung morning prayer, so andito na lahat, yung pies, yung mindset, so skill set, nandito na silang lahat. Okay? Morning prayer, and then if you would have a family devotion, you can have that. Okay? And then neuroscience would say that it's very healthy for their emotional and neurobiological development kapag ka nasasanay ang bata ng ganitong klaseng practices. Umaga pa lang, hindi yung umaga pa lang kaingay-ingay ng mga sounds niyo, mga rock, mga gano'n. So nakaka-distract ng concentration. So kaya kailangan i-set natin ng ganun muna ang ating mga bahay. Kalmado lang, no? Okay. And next is, we can have the exercises like pwede na tayong mag-stretch, okay, Zumba in the morning if daddy or mommy can lead that. And then after that, unang chores, make the bed. So after niyan, kailangan siya mismo ang magliligpit ng kanyang mga hinigan. Okay? And then breakfast together. As I have mentioned, importante yung kasama si daddy at saka si mommy. Okay. Tapos, take a bath. No? So, kaya sa mga Pilipino, importante talaga yon. So, morning pa lang, so you take a bath. No? And then, but if that's not your practice, it's all right. No? So, you can put this at night or in the afternoon. Kaya nga sabi ko, you can actually tweak this. No? And then after that, we have to get dressed for the screening time because the screening time starts for this particular example at 8 o'clock. So usually 40 minutes, no? Ang kanilang meetings. So may ganyan. So 8 to 8:40, then break time. Sa break time, mami, pwede na po kayong ganun pa rin. I-prepare nyo pa rin yung kanilang lunch o kaya yung kanilang snacks para maramdaman pa rin nila na this is actually schooling time, learning time. And then, the synchronous online distance learning continues, and another one for sessions 2 and 3. And then, after these classes, pwede nyo na siyang i-introduce to another chores at home. The life skills. Pwede siya magluto, pwede kayong mag-bake. So, mami, napakadami mong oras, no? Para mag-prepare habang nagkaklase yung bata. Ikaw naman, nagpe-prepare ka din ng mga bagay na pwede mo nang ituro sa kanya para siya excited din. Oh, mommy, ano pong gagawin natin ngayon? Pwede mo siyang gawing exciting because as I have mentioned, the brain loves novelty. So pagpabago-bago at nasa-surprise siya, pwede mo rin gawin niya. Or pwede rin kasi yung planned na. No, pag gising pa lang niya, okay, nakita niya na agad that these are the things that you're going to do for the whole day. Okay. Tapos, and then after that, you would have to have the lunch together. And then, like halimbawa si Amara ko yung aking bunso. So tuwang-tuwa ako sa kanya dahil kapag katapos ng lunch, so yun na yung time namin para mag-nap time. Pati si Natalie ko. So that's what we do. So alam nila yon, like after lunch, nap time naman. Okay. And then siesta time at 2 to 2:30. So you can also cook, no? Prepare it already for the kids. And then kasi maggagawa na sila ng assignment nila or asynchronous activity nila from 2:30 to 4 p.m. Okay, in one of my schools like in St. John Mary Vianney Academy, so what we do naman there is may consultation naman in the afternoon. Yon. So may mga ganong klase ng variation. So you can email the teacher yon once natapos na siya sa assignment niya or while doing the assignment. Okay. And then, reading and creativity time. Dito, teachers, pwede nyo turuan sila parents. Ano kaya yung magandang basahin nila? Pwede kayong mag-download ng books, no? Or pwede rin kayong bumili mismo dito sa Vibal ng mga gamit nila dito for kids. Napakadaming equipment that are ready, no? For you to purchase and for you to utilize at home. Okay? Then, creativity time. So, what they can paint, yan, no? So whatever it is that you are good at, mami, yun ang maganda ron. You can also teach it to your child. Okay, si teacher din pwedeng turuan naman si mami kung ano yung mga ideas na meron siya na gagawin sa bahay. And then personal management time is next. So hayaan natin siya sarili niya kung paano siya maglilinis and getting ready for the dinner. And I hope also that the dinner would be together with the family. As I have mentioned, importante po talaga na nararamdaman ng mga bata na mahal sila sa bahay. Okay. And then after that, as I have mentioned, this is a very beautiful ritual between me and my daughter and my whole family actually, because my wife and also my bunso is there. Even Ate Angie is there. Okay, so nasa kwarto then listening to the kwento of daddy. Okay, so paulit-ulit, it doesn't matter because it sticks in the mind of the child and it contributes to the brain development of your child. And then evening devotion, if you have evening prayer, because whatever it is that you add, okay, ganito po yan. As I have learned, no, from my graduate school teacher, Dr. Joanna Feliciano from Asian Theological Seminary, yung kay Eisner noon, na whatever is, alam niyo po, akala natin, ang tinuturo lang natin kung ano yung nandyan, teachers and the parents. Halimbawa, nilagyan natin doon ng verse. So, ibig sabihin, tinuturo na natin na importante na magbasa ng Bible. Yon. Tapos, importante, mag-pray kasi nagpe-pray tayo. But, parents and teachers, whatever also is not included in the routines are also learned. Okay, what are absent? what are emphasized are learned. Halimbawa, in-skip nyo yung prayer for the night. Ibig sabihin, parang yun ang tinuruan yung bata na you can go away, okay? Or you can actually go and sleep without praying. So hindi masyadong priority pala yung spirituality. Ang priority lang pala yung assignment. So ibig sabihin, binigyan nyo ng pagkakataon, mag-isip yung bata na this one is actually greater than the other components of the pies. Yon. Kaya kailangan po na alam natin ang gagawin natin diskarte. No? So kailangan alam natin na yung physical wellness, intellectual wellness, emotional wellness, and spiritual wellness must be actually embedded in our learning routines. Kaya kung hindi, may maiiwan po dun. Okay? At yun din ay natututunan ng bata. But sadly, in a negative way. So, how do you start your day after this? So, morning checks, you can ask your child, what are you learning today? Did you receive the syllabus or did you receive the learning guidelines for the week? Because I think Vsmart will have to remind, no? Kasi kami Vsmart kami, by the way, no? So we will be reminding our children and our parents of what to expect for the week. Yan. So, pwede na rin malaman ng bata yon, lalo na kung mga mas nasa pataas na grades yan. So, what are your learning targets and goals? How will you be spending your time? And ang pinaka-importante, what support do you need, Iho? Yan. What do you need me for, particularly this day? Tapos, pagdating ng afternoon, bago siya mag-personal management time, pwede niyo mo siyang tanungin. Yung anak ko pagka tatanungin ko, what did you learn today? Una sasabihin ko, did you enjoy your class today? Yes. What did you learn today? Nothing. Sabi ko, paano ko nag-enjoy kung nothing? Yun pala. Kailangan mo lang siyang anuhin. Nangungulit lang. So kailangan mo lang anuhin na i-rephrase yung question mo. Yan. So, what did you do? Okay, what did the teacher ask you to watch in the video? Things like that. Okay. So what was challenging during the day? Consider the things that went well today. Are there things that you really like today? Yan. So be creative in asking, no? Okay, next. Make learning fun. So pwede rin naman po kung medyo may kalakihan ng bahay ninyo at medyo mga grade 3, grade 4, grade 7, grade 8, things like that. Alam mo kung senior high school na yung bata, pwede rin naman siya na parang palipat-lipat. Para at least, pag philosophy class ko, ano ba grade 11, dito ako. Pagka 21st century class ko, dito ako. Okay? Pag science class ko, dito ako. Pwede ka rin mag-set up ng ganun. Kaya sabi ko po sa inyo, just just make it personalized. Just be you. Para ikaw din, mommy or daddy or teacher, nag-enjoy din kayo. Because the learning routine is actually authored by no one else but you. Okay? So yun po. And with my last slide po, I would like to say that my main point here is this. Be an agent of optimal learning. Maximize learning by creating not just kung anong makita nyo. No. By creating a holistic learning routine or holistic learning routines, no, at home that will be very useful for you and your children. Because with this, I would be very, very confident that you will have a very smooth sailing school year 2020-2021. Whether your school adapted synchronous, asynchronous modality, or online distance learning, modular, or whatever it is that they have set for you. For teachers naman, alam ko na if you are doing your best for your children, for your anak ang tawag natin sa kanila, di ba? For your students, I will always be secured that there would be optimal learning. I'm also praying that, of course, sa paggawa natin ito ay bukasyon, hindi kayo magkakasakit, hindi kayo tatamaan ng COVID-19. Tayong lahat ng mga guro ay nananalangin sa bawat isa. Okay? Na tayong lahat ay tulong-tulong na gumagawa ng bagay para sa ikabubuti ng mga bata, ng kabataan sa buong Pilipinas. At hindi tayo humihingi ng kahit ano, kundi dasal lang din mula sa mga tao na nakikinig ngayon, no? Kung hindi man kayo guro. Sa mga pamilya naman, sa mga parents at mga daddies, you would always have the best contribution for the learning of your children. As long as you would have it taken to heart, no? Na kung ano yung dapat na gawin mo bilang magulang. Katuwang mo ang eskwelahan kung saan in-enroll mo yung iyong anak. So I hope that you learned something from today, and I'm praying that everyone would really be safe from COVID-19. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Sir Samuel. Now we will proceed po to the question and answer.
Yes, Michelle.
Yes, the first question po is from Miss Rachel Nakubuan. Sir, what about po to some parents that cannot have this kind of setups, wherein some cannot even buy adequate food for their family, and they have a hard time being with their children because of work?
Okay, that's a very, very uh, good question, and at the same time, a tough one to answer. No, thank you for sharing that. Um, I know that there would be conditions like that right now. That's why ang huli ko nga sinabi is that our prayers are with you. Now, alam nyo, kaya nga kailangan lang natin dito is isa puso natin. Ano ba yung nais natin sa ating mga anak? Kung tayo ay nagiging busy, sabi ko nga, hindi naman kailangan na bilan natin ng ganito, bilan natin ng ganun. Because actually, of course, they would contribute. Magko-contribute ng konti. Pero hindi siya makaka-contribute na talagang 80% dahil sa mga binili natin sa mga bahay, sa mga bata, no, na para sa pantulong nila dito sa kanilang pag-aaral. Ang pinaka-importante is that they would feel secured, no? Na ikaw mismong parent gusto mong maitawid itong school year na to. Kaya alam ko kung nagtatanong ka sa akin ngayon dahil in-enroll mo yung bata, because there are a lot of parents who opted not to enroll their children. Ito lang ang may sasuggest ko. Just make sure if you're busy with work, lalo na kung hindi ka work from home, if you're busy at work, make sure lang na yung mga iiwan mo sa bahay ay mapagkakatiwalaan mo. Okay? Na kumbaga yung mga may iwan sa bahay would also help, no? In their own ways, no? Para lang sa pagkatuto ng iyong anak. Yun yung may isasuggest ko sa iyo. And hopefully also na kung wala naman maiiwan sa bahay, just make sure lang that your house is well lighted, tapos hinanda mo talaga, nilinis mo. Because yung pagiging malinis lang ng isang lugar, magiging conducive nito sa pag-aaral, malaking tulong na po yun. Miss
Thank
Michelle?
you so much po, sir. Next po question is from Miss Maylene Goyala. The acronym PIES you introduce is so helpful for our students, especially in good nutrition. Kaya lang po, paano matuto ang mga bata kung walang makain dahil walang trabaho ang mga magulang nila, lalo na matatanda na po?
Mhm. Yun, so ganun din. So parang karugtong lang nung sa sinabi ko, no. Kaya nga kailangan talaga magkakatuwang tayo dito. Kung napanood niyo yung kagabi kay Sir Doy, no, na pati yung sa vibal din to kay Sir Dodoy, no. Siya naman, sila mismo nakikipagtulungan with LGU. So kaya nga sabi ko, kaming mga teachers, lalo na yung mga nasa public school, hindi lang po kami hindi lang namin tinatawid ang pag-aaral ng mga bata through the MELC and asynchronous modules na ginagawa namin, kundi tinatawid din namin kasi kami mismo nakikipag-usap, no, sa mga LGUs na kung saan pwede kami na pwedeng suportahan itong mga batang to. So alam niyo po, ang unang-una lang na punto is that turuan natin, no, na kumain. Kasi minsan kasi yung mga bata, oo, may tulong na naiaabot, hindi naman kaso kumakain ng gulay. So yun yung sinasabi ko doon. Now, it's also very possible that we partner with LGUs, we partner with different organizations right now who are really willing, no, for the nourishment of the children. So pwede tayong makipag-ugnayan sa mga pwede natin talagang malapitan. Of course, this is a case to case basis, but actually that thing could help.
Thank you po, sir. Next question po is from Mr. ZK Olbinado, Sir, ano po kaya ang pwedeng may advice or suggest sa mga parents na ang bahay ay nasa malapit sa kalsada na may maraming pwedeng mga distraction sa pag-aaral ng mga bata? Thanks po.
Mhm. Okay. Well, may mga pwede tayong mura na gamitin for soundproofing, no? Yung ano yung like for instance yung cloth na yung ating kurtina for instance palitan natin na mas makakapal. Pwede rin tayong gumamit ng mga egg trays, no, that we can just for the school year na pwede natin siya i-design doon para at least um, yung baga parang yung soundproofing ba nung bahay. So para mas makakatulong din siya sa pagbawas ng ingay. And also, if able naman yung parents, pwede rin kayong gumamit katulad ng ginagamit ko ngayon na meron siyang headset na meron siyang noise cancellation, that would really be helpful. Para hindi, pag may noise cancellation kasi it's more of para doon sa mga kaklase, no, na hindi nila naririnig yung ingay nung kalsada. Ikaw naman, if you, ako kasi I would always require sana na may headset yung bata kapag pagka nagkaklase kasi na may microphone ano para at least mas concentrated yung bata dun sa lesson.
Thank you so much po, sir. Next question po is from Miss Maria Corazon Gabrino. Paano naman ang mga parents ay walang pakialam sa anak? Basta
Mm-mm.
lang, enroll ang bata. How can be a child more motivated to do the home learning?
Okay. That's a very tough question again. Teachers, kayo ang kakausapin ko ngayon. In the absence no of this parents na hindi talaga minsan lalo na sa private school problema namin 'yan sa totoo lang. Kasi nga pagka nagbayad na sila parang kumbaga entitled na yung kanilang anak sa lahat ng kumbaga wala ng collaboration at all. Dito naman mas kailangan tayo teachers. So with all the social media and also different means kung paano natin mas makakausap yung bata especially kung pa-develop pa lang yung kanilang brain, 'di ba? Dahil nasa grade 1 pa lang, grade 2 pa lang. So kung ano yung kaya natin na maiabot sa mga bata, um, pagmamahal, yung pagkalinga sa kanila, magagandang salita, yan, na maibabato natin sa bawat oras na maikling oras na makakasama kanila through remote learning, that would help already. Yun. So kasi we can only do that much because it's still their homes no na talagang dapat kakitaan ng ganun. You can also coordinate with your coordinators or principal para makausap yung parent. And then both of you will have to talk to the parent so that you would encourage the parent to collaborate with you.
Thank you so much, sir. Last question po from Mr. Macario Abela. Ang mga magulang na hindi po marunong magsulat at magbasa,
Mm.
paano sila makakaturo sa kanilang anak? Ano po ang maaring gawin ng school head at ni teacher?
Okay. Sige, that's a good question also. Um, Sabi ko nga, there are a lot of skills to be taught. Hindi lang yung hard skills. So, mga parents, ang pagtuturo ay hindi lang para sa matatalinong tao. Ang pagtuturo ay ginagawa para talagang may matutuhan ng maganda ang inyong mga anak. Yung life skills, importante yan. Magiging responsable ang mga bata dyan. Yung mga soft skills, integrity, pagpapakumbaba. Hindi kailangan marunong ka magbasa dyan. Hindi kailangan marunong ka magsulat. Ang kailangan mo lang, mahalin mo yung anak mo ng buong puso. So, dito, kami na lang. Kumbaga, mas magko-coordinate kami. Sabihin nyo lang ng tapat sa inyong mga principal at sa inyong mga teachers, lalo na sa mga advisors, para kami mismo ang aabot sa inyo. Ang importante, nandun yung pagmamahal ninyo sa mga anak nyo. Mas marami pa po kayo maituturo kaysa sa maituturo namin. Thank you.
Thank you so much po for answering the questions of our viewers. That's all the questions that we have for now. Any last reminders po to our viewers for this afternoon, sir?
Yes. Siguro sa pagkakataong to, I would like to unang-una congratulate everyone no na uh, you did decide to continue education with us. Importante po kasi. Uh, Lalo na sa gantong sitwasyon natin, ang ekonomiya ay hindi nagiging maganda. So we really need more educated individuals for our brighter future in the Philippines. So, ang sa akin lang kung ano po yung kaya natin, ibigay natin. Yung best effort natin, maging excited po tayo to collaborate with your teachers. Yung mga teachers naman to collaborate with your parents nang sa ganon mai-deliver natin yung mga kaya nating ibigay sa mga bata this school year. The education that they deserve. Thank you.
There we have it. In behalf of Vibal Group Incorporated, I would like to thank you, Sir Sam, for being our speaker for
Welcome.
this afternoon, for inspiring our viewers and giving an insightful learning session. It is truly an honor to have you with us today, sir. And to all
Thank you
our
very much.
Kabibal viewers, all thanks to you for your continuous patronage to our daily learning session. Muli maraming salamat po at magandang araw sa ating lahat. Stay safe, everyone. Goodbye.
We really need more educated individuals for our brighter future in the Philippines. So, ang sa akin lang kung ano po yung kaya natin, ibigay natin. Yung best effort natin, maging excited po tayo to collaborate with your teachers. Yung mga teachers naman to collaborate with your parents nang sa ganon mai-deliver natin yung mga kaya nating ibigay sa mga bata this school year. The education that they deserve. Thank you.
There we have it. In behalf of Vibal Group Incorporated, I would like to thank you, Sir Sam, for being our speaker for
Welcome.
this afternoon, for inspiring our viewers and giving an insightful learning session. It is truly an honor to have you with us today, sir. And to all
Thank you
our
very much.
Kabibal viewers, all thanks to you for your continuous patronage to our daily learning session. Muli maraming salamat po at magandang araw sa ating lahat. Stay safe, everyone. Goodbye.